You're listening to The Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles. Here's Eddie Garcia.
At the Olympics in Paris, the U.S. men's basketball team improved to 2-0 with a 103-86 win over South Sudan. 6 different players were in double digits for the U.S., led by Bam Adebayo off the bench, who had 18 points. U.S. women's soccer team's 3-0 in the games after a 2-1 win over Australia. And U.S. swimmer Katie Ledecky won her 8th career gold medal and 12th Olympic medal overall by taking the 1,500-meter freestyle. In baseball games of note, the Yankees wrap up a sweep of the NL East leading Phillies with a 6-5 win. Orioles down the Blue Jays 10-4 as Baltimore still holds that half-game lead on New York for first in the AL East. Astros edge of the Pirates 5-4, while the Mariners lose to the Red Sox 3-2 in 10 innings. Houston is now back into a tie with Seattle for first in the AL West. Braves beat the NL Central leading Brewers 6-2. Padres over the NL West leading Dodgers 8-1. And in a battle of wildcard teams, it was the Twins topping the Mets 8-3.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you were playing fullback up there, and I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. But you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to recruit you, and our running back coach didn't take the test. biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning and welcome into the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. Go check out Dr. Daniel Box and his team over at 5003 Oscar Baxter Road. You can visit them online at boxeyecare.com or call them at 205-342-0660. Once again, you're in the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care, that new location that they're waiting to serve you. Go check them out. Tell them that Martin Houston told you to stop by. All right. Well, man, it is officially here. We flipped the page from spring practice and summer to fall camp. Day one in the books. It's kind of weird adjusting to everything. With the fact that you kind of have to get used to the fact that by the time I come on, it's been like almost all the shows have had an opportunity to talk about what happened on yesterday. So I'm going to have to be on my P's and Q's, Wyatt, to hopefully pull out different observations and different takes to keep the conversation fresh. And one of the ways to do that is to always bring our guests and our listeners and viewers and chatters in on the phone lines at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. You can comment and react and tell us what you got going on in your world. So we'd love to have you join us on the hotline this morning, 205-342-9904. If you tune in on the live stream, we'd love to invite you to get in on the conversation there as well. So comment, react, respond, etc., and we'll work your thoughts into the conversation. Have a lot of audio, and we'll work that into the conversation. First thing I'm going to do, tell you, I'm going to get his opening comments. Not a lot said there, but still want to start off with what he had to say, and then we'll take some different peeps from maybe Ryan Williams and Caden Proctor, and what he said about Jalen Miro. Several new terms coming out from yesterday. He talked about racks, so that's a new word that as Alabama fans we need to learn. If he says he really did well on that rack, but it was another racks that he did not do well on. We'll have to explain what that means. Chase, you know what it means when I say racks?
I do not.
Okay, all right. So if anybody want to call up and tell us what that means, then you're welcome to do so. But that's a new term that he used on yesterday. He also used the term he said it's just part of the new process, but then he followed that up with is we tell them to keep grinding and refining. So, yet again, another opportunity to define what's happening in terms of his terminology and the way he does things. He talked about the O-line and Jaheim Otis. I'm going to have to see if I can get on the speakers list for next year. He did talk about the fact that he will keep that tradition going this year, a little tapered down in terms of what's happening with that. Got a couple callers, guys. I tell you I'm going to work you in, but I know we're going to dedicate today to yesterday's practice. There's several comments and things coming out regarding coaching. Coaches visiting, coach visiting different sections and position groupings and things like that where he is 100% all engaged in what's happening around the practice field. And I can kind of relate to that a little bit in terms of what I experienced in a coaching change. I kind of had a similar experience to what happened with Malachi Moore, Chase. You remember when Malachi talked about he was looking, and next thing you knew, Coach DeBoer was standing behind him. Did you hear him when he talked about that at the SEC Media Days?
I did. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a fun story when we get to that audio, because someone asked him about will he have something that distinguishes him or makes him stand out. And I love it. He said, this is what you get. he has a Heather, one of the kind of alternating white and Heather sweatshirts on with a ball cap. Go, Coach. And so we'll talk about that as well. I thought it was interesting. He talked about some guys didn't really fully grasp what it meant to go to morning practices. So some of them had some cramps, did not make the adjustment. So we'll break all of that down today, tomorrow, as we move throughout, and we'll work you into the conversation. No X today. His job is closely tied with the university and with students coming back. He's kind of slammed. So I need you to fill in his spot, and you can do that once again at 205-342-9904. That's the hotline, and you can also add your thoughts, comments, questions, and reactions to the conversation by adding it to the chat. I'm going to get this audio, just a quick opening statement from Coach DeBoer. Not a lot there, but still want to start it off with that, and then we'll hit the phone lines. Here's your new Alabama head ball coach in his first press conference, post-practice press conference.
So good morning, right? Yeah. Good morning. I think just like most first practices, great energy. Guys were excited to get out there. I can't remember really many times where you had to coach up the excitement and passion. That was all there. These guys have worked hard. We're excited about practice one. So, always going to be far from perfect, but each side had its moments and, made plays, and that's what you want. I love being the head coach in those times, right? Because the assistants, they want every play to be perfect, and so, they win half, they lose half the time. I get to win all the time because I just choose the side that wins on that play. But no, it's good having that give and take, and I felt that's what we had, and welcome to the South, right? For me in particular, just practice and a little bit warmer than the rest of the summer. It hit us here with practice 1. So guys grinded through it. I thought actually they kept getting stronger as the day went on, which is what you want to see. And, they kept their spirits high through the very last rep.
Wow. Interesting, Chase. Coach says that as they were going, they got stronger as the day went along. But he said it was hot. Didn't they practice at 9 o'clock?
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. So I don't know if Coach went to morning practice just because that's his philosophy, or pretty smart move getting out of that heat at 2 o'clock. But yeah, interesting conversation there. Like I said, I thought my biggest takeaway from that comment, Chase, was a couple things. One is, he said both sides had their moments, and that's good. You don't want to start off with one side clearly dominating the other, and I think he even addressed it even more in another question. But the other part was that he said they got stronger as the practice goes along. And I want to highlight Coach Ballou at some point, either today or later, because that's about conditioning, and people go, how can you get stronger as the day goes along? Because you start getting your juices flowing, and your adrenaline flowing as you start making plays. And then if you're conditioned, well-conditioned, the conditioning and the adrenaline together gives you that energy you need. And then if you're mentally tough, you're able to execute at a high level, which gives you confidence. And then once you get confidence, you know what I'm saying? It's just an ever evolving situation there. So kudos to the Crimson Tide. They are officially on the field and back at it. And so we're going to keep audio going throughout the program. But at this time, we're going to bring in Pat. Pat, you're in. Actually, Pat, so I don't cut you off and have to rush you to get out of break. We'll just get you coming back out of the break. When we come back on the other side, you're listening to the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. And I want to welcome another team member to the roster, the venue, the Tuscaloosa's newest gathering places for family and friends. The venue located off of Watermelon Road, food, music, and more. If you've not checked it out, you need to go by on Watermelon Road, right past Sokol Park on the left, right next to TCAT and the link. You'll see it. It sits behind off the road a little bit, but you'll see the venue sign there. I'll give you more details about what all it has to offer, but food, music, and more.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. We're starting the morning with a little drama in Coaling. This is eastbound 2059 near the University Boulevard exit. This is an accident that looks primarily to be on the right shoulder of the road, but there is a little bit of a backup there. It's going to take you a couple minutes to get through that area, but once you do
both, many pre-owned and certified BMWs are waiting for you at BMW of Tuscaloosa, 3537 Skyland Boulevard East, or at bmwoftuscaloosa.com.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Good morning. A heat advisory is in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. Heat index values today approaching 110. It's going to be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a high near 97. A few isolated storms may form in the I-59 corridor early this afternoon. They'll push to the southeast. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low near 77. And tomorrow, mostly sunny and hot again with a high near 98. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray on Tide 100.9.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show. Your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
White, a registered forester with the state of Alabama, and his expert team have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties and growing. We offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Once again, Courtney White with North River Timber says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today and unlock the true potential of your land. Email them at northrivertimberco. That's northrivertimberco@gmail.com, or call 205-242-5127, 205-242-5127. Let's go get Pat on the line. Pat, you're in on the hotline. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Martin. Hey, Martin, I call it the Derrick Henry effect, that as far as practice goes, what he's talking about there, because Derrick got stronger in the fourth quarter. He was hurting people in the fourth quarter.
Was that Derrick got stronger, or was it Derrick got stronger, or was it the other guys got tired of hitting him?
Some of both.
Probably a little bit of both, Pat. You understand? I mean, you get hit by a truck enough time, you get smart enough to get out of the way and start trying to touch it. Just
wave your arms at him and let him go.
That's right. Hey, speaking of that, this is a sidebar, Pat. This is a sidebar. Derrick Henry, NFL. If Derrick hasn't lost anything, Derrick will set the record potentially. The only reason he won't set the record is because he'll give up some rushing yards to Lamar Jackson. But I'm predicting that they will together have more rushing yards than any 2 running back combo in the history of the NFL. You know why? You know that they can now. You cannot grab a guy from behind in the NFL and then drop, like fall down. And you can, and you can't do it the whip tackle, where if you hit the guy from the side, you can't go all the way past him as you go past him and fall down. So what that means, Pat, if Derrick Henry is running down the field and you hit him from the side, you got to knock him down and tackle him. Like you can't grab him, wrap up, and drop your weight. If you're chasing him from behind, first of all, you have to catch him, Pat. Then you have to grab him, and without dropping your weight, you have to stop him. It's going to be a lot of bus rides. It's going to be a lot of bus rides in the NFL, Pat.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
I think I'm looking forward to. I may watch the Ravens just to watch those two rack up probably 3,000-4,000 yards rushing.
Yeah. Hey, you hear about all these people down in the plains, they're talking about that, they getting all of the top players in Alabama, and Alabama hadn't got anybody in the top 10, blah, blah, blah. They forget about Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams is a 2025 recruit. That Ryan Williams, if he was
in the class he's supposed to be in, he would be the number one recruit in the state of Alabama. Hey, and did you hear what Coach said about Ryan Williams? He was showing his trajectory was straight up. Man, hey, that's the only thing I don't care about Coach DeBoer. He does not know. He has not been to Poor Mouse School. All he's got to do is watch Bear Bryant film, and he can learn how to Poor Mouse.
Until I see him coach, I'm going to take whatever he's been doing to get to 104 and 12, Pat. I'm going to take whatever he's been doing. Yeah, that's pretty okay. Yeah, Pat. And 5 of those losses, Pat, was in one season, I think. I think he was like 8-5 or something his first year at Washington. So I think what he decides to do, Pat, he did use the word process yesterday. Just FYI. He used the word process, just so you know.
That's right. But, hey, it's going to be okay, I think. And, I'm beginning to think that if we don't make the Final Four, that this is, this year with this group and with our quarterback, I think it's going to be, underperforming. I'm sorry. But I'm beginning to believe it's just like that fella's got those T-shirts down there in Louisiana or out in California, wherever he's at. He says, "Don't doubt the board." D. Don't doubt the board.
Hey, listen. Let everybody keep doubting, Pat. Let everybody else be the poor mousers and let him build them up. I appreciate you, Pat.
Thank you.
Listen, Pat, Alabama's probably pretty good. I think we're the number 1 team in 2027. Because Auburn's claiming 2026, so, I mean, like, that matters.
Yeah, like that matters. Exactly right. Hey,
yeah, they got 6 recruits, but they're number 1. All right, man.
Hopefully it will be back for recruiting tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. All right, hey, let's bring in Alan. Alan, you're in on the hotline. What's on your mind?
Hey, Martin, did you get a chance to look up what I sent you yesterday about the high school?
I didn't dig into it.
Are they really taking people out of high school and sending them to another state to get NIL money? That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy to do something like that.
But listen. They're buying players in high school in Alabama.
That was what the article was about. They got to go to another.
No. They're not going to other states. Do you really think Gulf Shores is producing homegrown talent to be competing for state championships in just a few years? Do you really think that?
No, Hoover either. Thompson, none of them places.
So you see these guys coming, but at least you look at Thompson and you can go, well, Thompson is Alabama of high school. So they're going to get kids that want to move there whether they offer them or not. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't go offer kids things. But, okay, how many – two things. Do you think that there's homegrown talent in Gulf Shores?
Not like that.
To be state level.
Got some talent.
State championship level in what, 5A or 6A, whatever they are.
No.
Okay. Number 2 is how many people can just up and move to Gulf Shores?
That's expensive. That's one of the most expensive places.
How many people can just up and move?
Not many.
Just up and move.
Not many.
To Gulf Shores.
Not many.
Okay, so how do you think it's happening? I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's high school. And it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. The former Hillcrest coach is the head coach at Oxford, okay, high school. The former, I think he was the principal, is now the head of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Oxford was one of those schools that was hit by Thompson, by Clay Chalkbull, and by Gulf Shores. I know at least Now let that sink in for a second. That coach had players playing at Thompson, Clay Chalkful, and Gulf Shores. Kids who would have been on his team. I mean, and he still did a good job. So, and so it'll be interesting to see if the new guy tries to rein it in. But yeah, the NIL, that's why I think the guy, I don't remember his name, tried to pass a law to get some NIL going here in high school. It'll be interesting to see if that passes. It's going to become like the baseball scenario, where high school kids are going to be going to neighboring states to get money, like Louisiana and other places, if Alabama doesn't do something. But what nobody's talking about, and this is one of the areas of my new venture, is the financial wellness for these athletes, the high school athletes that are getting this NIL money and these college athletes. People don't understand, man, with money comes potential challenges. There's a reason that people who win lotteries end up broke.
But more than that,
it's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. Huh?
Right. Well, now, what would be the difference? Okay, first of all, I don't like private schools playing with the regular public schools. I don't think that's right because they can come from anywhere. They are not governed by the same rules, so to speak. So what would take a Montgomery Academy not Montgomery, but Madison Academy that used to be pretty good? What stops them from getting a recruit from, let's say, Center, that's the best player, bringing him over there and giving him a scholarship to play there and NIL money? They're not taking money from public schools, so they can basically do what they want to do. Am I correct?
No. They still governed by, if they play in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, they're governed by, but they can give them the scholarship.
But that's wrong.
They can do that.
They can't get them that scholarship.
That's not that
from all over the state. That's not right.
Yeah, and that's what they do. Now that part is still true. That part has been happening. So
that's not right. So
that's why you see private schools. That's why you see private schools competing for championships.
Exactly, year in and year out, because they can go from anywhere they want to, and give them a scholarship. And that's not and what to say, like you just said, hey, if they get them a scholarship, why ain't they getting them something else on the table?
They may be. They very well may be.
You got to compete some kind of way. And my last thing was this: we're gonna see a lot. I now with the new rule coming in the NFL, I honestly see we're gonna see a lot more running. I believe we'll see the fullback coming back because you can't tackle it. I mean, you get some guys like your side. I mean, let's say your side, but what about the Earl Campbell's coming back? The John Riggins coming back? The Mike Allstott's coming back? And you can't pull them down from the side. You can't do what you used to do to them. And you can't
jump on their back and pull them down.
You can't jump on their back. I mean, you see Mike Allstott are coming down there. You got to tackle him head up. No, you ain't doing it.
Yeah.
John Riggins, Earl Campbell, you're not doing it. You're not doing it.
So it'll be interesting to see if that transition happens because, like I said, you can't do the drop. So if you tackle a guy from the side, that's the natural motion. Is as you're coming up to hit him, you grab him, and as your weight's going past him, your momentum's carrying you past him, you drop. You have to. That's what you do. But you can't do that anymore. Or if you catch a guy from behind, you have to be strong enough to stop him while you're running in the same direction he is.
So you take the 15-yard penalty, and you take the 15-yard penalty instead of letting them score a touchdown. That's the only alternative I see to it. You got to.
That's right.
All right. You have a good one. All right.
Absolutely. Thanks. Hey, we'll be back on the other side in just a moment. Hey, speaking of he said fullbacks making a comeback. You can get your officially licensed co-branded Alabama swag, the Legacy Collection, premium jerseys and gear, and to make fullbacks great again. apparel item, caps and T-shirts that are available. All you need to do, if you're online, you can just scan the QR code. If you're listening, is athletesthread.com/collections/Martin-Houston. More to come about that.
Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama Sports. This is the Martin Houston Show powered by Fox Eye Care. Thank you for being a part of the program with us this morning. All right, we got J-Rob. J-Rob, we're going to get to you in just a moment. So hold on. I want to play this Ryan Williams audio. Coach was asked about Ryan Williams. Man, I'm going to tell you, if there's a dude that I'm excited about. Chase, have you ever heard the deuce is loose? You ever heard that saying? You're fairly new to Alabama.
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
Okay. You've never heard the deuce is loose. Okay. So I'm going to officially indoctrinate you. Being a former player and being old, and having been around for 30 years and of course watching it before that, there's a couple of things I want you to learn. Deuce is loose. 2.0, okay? We're going to call Ryan Williams. David Palmer was number 2, and his nickname was Deuce. And that became part of his tagline. If Alabama had done a great job of marketing, he probably would have won the Heisman with just that slogan. Because when he touched the ball, it looked like he was going to score every time he touched it. Even if there was no blocking. On punt returns, one of the most amazing punt returners you'll ever see in your life. Wasn't a big guy, wasn't the fastest guy, but he could make you miss him in a one-hand touch in a phone booth. So Ryan Williams is wearing number 2. So I'm going to see if he can be Deuce is Loose 2.0, kind of hang out on that number 2 jersey. But here's what Coach DeBoer had to say about him, and then I get your reactions as well to what I just told you. But I'm gonna educate you, all right? So say it with me. The deuce is loose.
The deuce is loose.
All right, you got it.
Consistently just in this trajectory on up. I don't need him day one. I mean, you want every play to be amazing, explosive, but you just want him lining up right, doing the fundamental things, making the easy plays, and then, because of his ability, the big ones will come. So, when your route's on air, run a good route, catch the ball, accelerate out with good ball security, and you find those consistent fundamentals, and, you stack days, and those plays that we know he'll be capable of making will happen.
Yeah, that was Coach just talking about him. He just want to see him on a steady trajectory of going up. Want him, make the fundamental plays. I mean, you look at the guy, you see video of him. He looks the part already. The scary part to me is I think this guy, I will not be surprised if he's not one of the top 3 receivers. Now, he may never start a game, Chase. He may never start a game this fall. He may not. But he will be one of the top 3 targets by the end of the year. Meaning that by the end of the year, once he gets into the rotation, he'll have more targets than guys who may start in front of him once he breaks through that ceiling. I think the guy's unbelievably talented. The scary part for me is this guy should be still playing high school. He went to the All-Star games and was like MVP in the All-Star games.
Wow.
As a junior, leaving school early, he was still the best player or one of the top players in the All-Star games as a junior. So, amazing talent. Just an inside note you may not know. You know, his dad played at Auburn. But we're glad he's at Tuscaloosa. So, I think it's the right move. Let's see what J-Rob has to say. J-Rob, you're in. What's on your mind, sir?
Good morning, Martin. I hope you're doing good this morning.
I'm doing well, sir.
Hey, that is exciting to hear that Ryan wins, but we knew he was going to be special when he got here. We just didn't know how soon, but hope he gets in early and often, to tell you the truth. But we have so many good pass catchers on the team now. It's going to be maybe just by committee, you know. But
well, I think there's two things. One, I would tell you is that they use a lot of receivers. Okay, remember Bernard, who's here now, was one of the top receivers. I mean, so.
Hello, you were kind of breaking up.
Give me 1 second. Martin, you there? We are currently having some technical difficulties, J-Rob. Are you still there, Martin?
Yeah, I'm still here. Okay. Yeah, I did not realize you had disconnected and to connect back, so I was talking. Sorry. Sorry about that. No, I was just saying that Bernard was, you know, he would have been in our rotation for, you know, our top three guys last year. But, you know, DeBoer's offense sent three receivers to the league last year. So
his offense is spread around. It spreads around to all the playmakers, and that's what.
When the starter has over 4,000 yards passing, and I don't know how many backup had, but the starter had over 4. That's a lot of yards to go around. Lots of yards to go around. So I think you'll see Ryan Williams, you know, like I said, be a big-time contributor.
I hope that Ryan Williams is good as the Deuce. I mean, and the Deuce is a special player, man. But
hey, I had to educate. You hear me educate Chase on. You know, I gave him a quick lesson. Yeah, the Deuce is loose. I mean, you know, that was one of my favorite. That still is one of my all-time favorite slogans or sayings or mantras for individual player. And it was very cool.
But you got a bird's eye view of it. You know, you got to see it up close and personal. So you got to see a lot of stuff that we didn't get to see.
Have you ever heard me tell the story, J-Rob, of when he first came here as a freshman?
I think I did.
And he had all the hype. Chase, you'll enjoy this. And if y'all heard this, y'all just, you know, forgive an old man for reminiscing. Deuce is, I mean, all the hype, Chase, just unbelievable. And I'm on punt coverage, and he's a punt returner, and everybody talked about how good he was. And, you know, some of us old guys were thinking, I mean, he can't be that good. I mean, what does he do that makes him like, that was against high school kids. He's going to be up against us old guys. We're going to show him. Well, we're at Bryant-Denny. He's going down the west sideline, and I'm the safety guy, Chase, and he's like, there's the sideline, and there's everybody's chasing him, and I'm like coming up, like there's nowhere to go. Literally, you know, like people are running beside him, closing in, and I'm coming to him from the front. So there's nowhere to go. There's a sideline, guys on this side of him, and I'm coming to the front. The only place he can go is backwards, right? That's the only place. Nobody's right behind it. I go and I'm saying to myself, I'm going to show this freshman. And he went backwards. He stopped Chase and hopped it looked like he hopped backwards. And while going full speed, he stopped completely, hopped back, and I went sliding. And I was going so hard to hit him, I slid all the way from the out of bounds line almost to the fence. And he went down the sideline.
Crazy.
So I said, well, maybe the hype is not overrated. It took all of one practice. It took all of one practice for me to change my tune about David Palmer. So that dude was amazing. So anything else you got, J-Rob?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. The Boers record at Washington was 25-3. He lost most of his games that he lost to Fresno State. He was 12-6 there, and he must come in the middle of the year or something, because that don't add up. From what
was one of them not the COVID year?
It could have been
21, 22, 23. I think he was the head coach there in 2020. I think he was there the COVID year, and then he had one more year, and then Washington hired him. Yeah,
and he has a tremendous record there. And but my last thing I wanted to say was Derrick Henry is a special player in the National Football League. And those defensive backs already have to make a business decision where they're going to tackle him when they're faced one-on-one with the possibility of trying to tackle him. He's and this rule change is going to make it worse. Don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. I like I said, I'm excited to watch, just to see the first time a guy runs him down, first of all, a guy have to be fast enough to catch him from behind, which you never see happen.
Yeah.
But you catch him from behind or jump on him from behind in a pile, they have to pull him down with their strength. They can't use their body weight to drop and tackle him.
Nope.
I mean, I don't see, like I said, I don't know how they're going to do it. So
they better stop him before it gets going. That's all I can say.
They better.
30 days away, Martin. 30 days away.
Right.
Roll Tide.
30 days. Day. Roll Tide. Hey, that's J-Rob. We'll be back on the other side. Thanks for being a part of the program with us on this beautiful morning. We're glad to have you with us. We'll be back on the other side. And as we come back on the other side, just remember Taco Casa quality, taste, and value, and the biggest cactus in town. They do it the right way every day. Right here on your home for Alabama sports. We like to recognize those guys, and we'd like for you to support them. Tell them that the Martin Houston told you about it. TacoCasa.com.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Better flow of traffic now on eastbound 2059 through the Coaling area past the University Boulevard Highway 11 exit. We did have an accident, partially blocked the roadway for a little while. Appears to be gone now. At least all of the travel lanes are back open, and there's no remaining backup through the area, so life is a touch better there. No big problems if you're traveling along McFarland Boulevard or 69 up from Hale County. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Ray Romero.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Thursday morning. That heat advisory continues in effect for all of West Alabama, all the state for that matter, until 9 o'clock tonight. The National Weather Service in Birmingham says heat indices could reach as high as 110 degrees this afternoon and early evening hours. Stay hydrated. Limit your time outdoors and do not leave humans or pets in unattended vehicles. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more local news. It's free throughout the day. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on The Game, starting at 2 p.m., defensive players and assistant coaches on the platform. We're going to be there to cover you. Alabama practice number 2. We'll get reaction from Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com, Nick Kelly, AL.com, and a lot more with your call starting at 2 p.m. on The Game on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program.
Puts you in control. Visit Chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Keep into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports, Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. I want to encourage you to go check out The Encouragement Factor. Give me one more inch. You can find my book. If you're tuned in on the live stream, all you need to do is click the QR code. If you're tuned in on the radio airwaves, just go to Amazon.com, type in The Encouragement Factor. Give me one more inch. Learn the art of encouragement and author's tip. Book best read as a devotion or in chunks. Figure out what you want to learn, which principle, and dig in on that. We're keeping the conversation rolling. One of the things we were talking about as we were going to break is just the board doing some things his own way. Are you familiar with the good, bad, and ugly segment we do in the fall? Chase, when we do a good, bad, and ugly on Monday, it's kind of look at the good, bad, and the ugly. I may have to change what we call it. Let's see what Coach DeBoer had to say when he was talking about the team. I'll let you hear this out. And he makes a statement, and he doesn't say the ugly. He calls it something else. So we may have to play on that as we move into the
fall. Yeah, no, I mean, you got to be real. And that's what I tell our guys. And, I'm going to tell our team on a Sunday, after a game, what it was. It's Tell the Truth Sunday. And we got to be real. And then, when it comes to games, everyone can see it. If you got to be better or if it was a great day, I think it's usually pretty obvious. And when it comes to practice, we can't just gloss over things ever. We gotta understand where we're at, and we have relationships with each other so we can be real and hold each other accountable. And today, I thought it was a great practice. Anytime, and every day, there's things to learn from. You learn from the good, you learn from the bad, you learn from and your own. And so a lot of that happened today, the good, the bad, the mistakes, and we get to go watch film. We get to talk about it here, team meeting, and we got it was a positive day. I really feel like we've made the most of every practice since I've been here going back to this spring. Some are obviously going to be better than others. Film, we get to talk about.
All right, Chase, did you pick up on that? I'm going to replay it here in just a second. He said the good, the bad, the mistakes. Instead of the good, the bad, the ugly. So, y'all tell me, should we just change it to the good, the bad, the mistakes? Let me see if I can pick up where he said that. He talked, and I love this segment, Chase, because he talks about relationships. He talks about trust. He calls it Tell the Truth Sunday. And then he said the good, the bad, the mistakes.
Out of here, team meeting, and we got it was a positive day. I really feel like we've made the most of every practice since I've been here going back to this spring. Some are obviously going to be better than others.
Okay, so you're talking about some are going to be better than others. Talk about the games and all that. So I'm looking forward to how he shares with us on Mondays. That's the only negative to the morning practice side of things, Chase, may be that we don't get to hear from him about the prior games with Saban. You kind of had an all-day type of thing, and they would put out like the players of the week and all of the good to bad to ugly type of things before the next practice. With the board, they'll be practicing Monday morning, so they'll already be out there. So I wonder if he'll do something for us on Sundays as the media to talk about and to update us. So we'll be watching that as we go. I'm going to go to a little OT. So if you tune in on the radio airwaves, we definitely appreciate you joining us every morning there. Today we'll kick over and go to a little OT. Want to circle back on a couple audio things that brought up. But join us over at The Martin Houston Show on Facebook. I also want to apologize to all of those who just tuned in via YouTube. I had failed to connect you guys this morning, so thank you for jumping on after doing so. Chase, anything from day one kind of jump out at you that you want to highlight before we get out of here?
Yeah, I think just seeing Kane Womack in a full bodysuit, I was like, this man is insane. I don't know.
Was Baloo and Womack in full bodysuits?
That's a good question. I don't know. I did see clips of Womack just walking around just screaming, and he didn't seem bothered by it at all in the hot, humid weather.
Well, he's the guy that's from South Alabama. So he's the guy that's, at 9 o'clock in the morning, he's probably thinking, oh, man, this is air conditioned, right? He's used to being out there at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock when he was the head coach down at South Alabama. So I know that they mentioned about Baloo being in a full warm-up. Ryan mentioned it as well. But hey, we'll get to hear from him today and defensive players today. That's just it's crazy. We got to get used to this. Yeah, we're talking to the defensive coordinator and defensive coaches today instead of bowl game. So it'll be interesting to get their take. Hey, I appreciate you guys being a part of the program with us this morning as we wrap up this hour of the show. Thank you for tuning in. We will have an OT segment this morning. So if you're on the radio airways, just jump over and follow Facebook.com /The Martin Houston Show, and we'll add you in. Hey, this has been Thursday edition of the Martin Houston Show, powered by Box Eye Care. 205-342-0660, 205-342-0660, or you can go to boxeyecare.com. Stop by and see them at their new location right there off of Oscar Baxter Drive between Med Center and Outback. So they'd love to see you. Great service, different location, but same great service you always got when you went to see Dr. Daniel Box at Walmart. That is boxeyecare.com. All right. We'll be back on the other side with a little OT. Thank you so much for all the callers and viewers and chatters for being a part of the program. We appreciate you, and remember this: trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide out to everybody.